I've already learned a lot with my first project I'm doing. I'm doing like
good.
A little like bomb tutorial. So it's like
Bomb
you do like the
tutorial.
how
Did
to
you look
build a
up
bomb.
bomb tutorial? This is a pilot episode version 2, I guess, of this new podcast. So basically the gist of it, if you're listening to this one, we're just going to talk about shit, talk about our days, our weeks every week, supposedly. And then in the course of, it's going to be like a library. And in the course of like a year or 2 years, then it's going to be like, wow, you get to look back and see what we were talking about this week and what we were doing this past week. So, I guess for timekeeping, today is October 28th, 2022. Yeah. Pilot episode V2. Welcome to the podcast. So you said you're gonna cook before I messaged you.
I was like checking the time because there's a time difference between me and John. I was checking the time, and John's like, okay, 2 p.m. my time, let's do it. I'm like, all right, cool. And then when it came to my time, I was like, fuck, like, you know, I want to take a shower. And while I was in the shower, I was like, man, I need to do my meal prep because I have to eat dinner after this. And then I was like, well, I have like 20 fucking minutes. I don't think I can have 20 minutes before John gets ready to call. So I'll figure something out. I'll cook after this.
How's the meal prepping been? Because this is going to be your second time meal prepping? Living by yourself?
Well, dinner. Meal prepping dinner. I've been doing meal prepping lunch for like a couple weeks now.
Oh, okay. And you've been doing good at that?
Yeah, you know, like it's been good. I just switch out the sauces because I do like a fajita bowl. So I just switch out the sauces to make it a little different, you know.
What kind of?
Sometimes I go salsa. Sometimes I go like sweet and sour. You know? So I mix and match just to make it just have some variety. But my dinner one last time I made like this like it's like minced beef with like potatoes and sweet potato and broccoli. Now the broccoli and the sweet potato taste really good. The minced beef is awful.
What do you mean? Did you not season it?
No, I seasoned it. I don't know. I just didn't like it as much as I thought I would. So this time around, I bought like pork loins. So like pork.
And when it's getting fancy, like
I know.
I know I laughed at you for only switching out the sauce, but that's because I don't switch out anything. When I meal prep, I make the same thing for lunch and dinner. So for 4 days a week, I'll have sausage with like beans and caramelized onions and rice for lunch and dinner. So I really can't laugh. And I have the same smoothie every day of the weekday.
I mean, listen, I'm still working it out, but I'm like, I like the salsa, so I'm sticking with the salsa. But, you know, sometimes I like to, you know, switch it up a little bit. Sometimes I like to stick out the beaten path. So that's the idea. Yeah. Switch the sauces.
Yeah, usually when I meal prep, it's like I will do the same food for like a month or two, and then like I'll change a little bit of it. So originally, like I make the same thing, but the first like iteration of this meal I made was actually like tofu and like a lot of different things, tofu and eggs and like frozen vegetables, and it was a lot more complicated. And over like the course of a year, it like changed and evolved and boiled down to sausage, beans, onions, and rice. So I don't know. To me, it's all about the convenience. That's why I meal prep.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to cook something every single day.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna keep how I'm going now. I actually so. Do you know what Huel is?
What?
Huel. You know what Huel is? No. It's like one of those meal powders, kind of like Soylent. And I tried that for a little while actually because I did that for like breakfast because it's like 400 calories and like 30 grams of protein, and I would add it to a smoothie, and so my breakfast smoothie would be like 700 calories or something because I'm bulking or maybe not right now, but I was bulking. But I tried that for a while, and what, I don't know. Do you think you would ever try like a meal powder like that?
I've thought about it, and I've seen ones where it's like crazy. It's like 1,000 calories, and like the thing, and it's crazy. But I don't know. I was like talking to my doctor about it, and he was like, that amount of calories coming into your body like at once is like not a really good thing for your body in general.
Yeah, that's understandable. It was okay for a while. It tasted fine. I got a chocolate version. I would mix the chocolate with chocolate milk, and it was okay. But recently, it started tasting like shit. So I have stopped drinking Huel. I'm no longer a hooligan, as they call themselves, which is actually a good thing because it was kind of like shit. I don't know. It was kind of depressing, but it was very convenient. It was a very convenient way of consuming food. Right now, I'm in the mindset of eating is just a chore, so I'm trying to make it convenient. Only on the weekdays, though. On the weekends, I will go out and I will enjoy eating. But on the weekdays when I'm working on like my side projects and my side biz, then I'm just super hyper focused, and I'll tend to just not eat if I don't like force myself to. Which I haven't. Yesterday, it's really unhealthy. I just get really like obsessed with stuff when I get like into it. That's why I want to start my side business, my Etsy side business. This podcast, by the way, is sponsored by Next Printables, the next step in making your home a masterpiece. But
wow, how long have you been working on that for?
Yeah, I came up with that slogan maybe like a month ago. I don't know, kind of banging. Not gonna lie.
That is pretty banging. That sounds very official. Yeah,
it is official. I am dead ass gonna be one of the greatest, if not the greatest, art printable sellers on Etsy. Because I will. But you know, when I get really into something, like working out, I'll like go really hard in it, and that's why I hurt myself every time I work out, like over a long period. Because when I was running, like I first started running like last year in January. I ran maybe like 15 miles that month, and then the next month, February, I ran like maybe 30 miles, 40 miles in the month. And then the third month that I started running, I ran like 80 miles in that third month. Jeez. And then I hurt myself because I just really liked it and I got really into it. And so I thought to myself, I'm like, damn, I keep going hard, but like I keep getting limited by something. Something is stopping me. So I was thinking like, what's something I can do with no upper limit that I can really get obsessed about and provide me like a really good benefit? I was like, maybe I should start a side business. And now I'm here. In 1 year, when we're still doing this podcast, I'm gonna bring this episode up, and it's gonna be like the origin, and then it's gonna be crazy. Y'all wait. Y'all better subscribe. Yeah, y'all better subscribe so you can come back in a year and be like, damn, this dude was right.
Or see the journey, you know?
Yeah, see the journey.
So is that what you've been doing this week? You've been working on side biz?
Yeah, I've been gradually working on the side biz for the past like month and a half. I'm in the hardest part right now, which is the getting started, the launching part, because I'm trying to make my listings and do a bunch of stuff. But once I get it going, then it'll be more of a steady process because everything will be set up. I can just keep it going, which is going to be a little easier. So I'm looking forward to that part, but it's been fun. I'm like learning like techniques and whatever. Learning about business, marketing. I don't know. I'm not a professional at all, but I'm just gonna try as hard as I can. It's all anyone can ever do. I know. I would consider following my dreams, quote unquote, and become a professional artist doing the impossible. Just because I never thought it'd be possible. I know I've talked about this before. But hey, if I can do that mentally in my mind, then I'm like, all right, I can do anything. So
yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah. And you know, it can be tough work for sure. You know, people don't start businesses overnight. And I guess no. Yeah, people don't do that, but I'm working on it. You know, we'll see. It's a good use of time, I would say.
Yeah, definitely very productive. Just don't overwork yourself. But
I can't promise that. I can't promise. Yeah. It's actually like really bad. Yesterday I only had like a smoothie like all day because
what? No, why?
Because
this fucking guy.
I woke up and I was working. I started working. I have my laptop on my bed now, so I can wake up and start working on my side biz like immediately. And then so I was in my bed working on that until like 10 a.m. and then I started like my work. And then it was like 2 p.m. and I was like, damn. Like it was like 10:30 and I was like, all right, I should eat something. And then I was like, let me just finish this thing real quick. And then it was like 11:30. I'm like, let me just finish this thing real quick. And I'm like, let me just get this next thing. And then it was like 2 p.m. I was like, shit, I'm fucking hungry, dude. So I made a smoothie and then I was like, all right, you know, it was like 5 p.m. I should eat dinner in a little bit. I might go out and get some dinner. And I was like, nah, let me just finish this shit real quick. And then, yeah, that happened. I don't know. It's a lot of going ham. No foot off the brakes yet.
No brakes. That's good.
No brakes.
It's good though. You can tell you're passionate about it, you know?
Yeah. How about you and Houdini?
So I'm making the transition between Blender and Houdini. And I was working on a tutorial like yesterday while I was running on my animation. And the first thing I noticed about Houdini is that it's a lot more technical. Like it feels a lot more technical. It's a lot node based compared to Blender. Whereas in Blender, you would like sculpt it with your hand and like you would like do it all in the program. E to extrude, all that stuff.
E to extrude, yeah.
Yeah. When you want to do that with Houdini, you have to like there's like the main screen like in Blender, how you can see like the scene and everything, and then the scene on this there's a little window on the side that's got your nodes, and so you have to put in like a square node, and then if you want to extrude, you have to like pick out an extrude node, put it with your square node, link it together, and then do the stuff like on the actual like another window, and it has like all these numbers, and you have to like all these settings that you have to set for extruding. And then if you want to do another thing, you have to find a node. It's like really node based. So you have like at the end of the day, you get like huge lines of like huge like grids of nodes, and you have to like it's crazy. And yeah, I'm still learning it. And definitely like the transition between them is a little bit tricky. Like the key bindings aren't the same, and then there's like, you know, there's different like render systems. Like it doesn't have cycles or Eevee. It's got like karma and something else. And then there's like, so it's a lot to learn. But I've already learned a lot with my first project I'm doing. I'm doing like a little like bomb tutorial. So it's like you do like the few.
Did you look up bomb tutorial?
In Houdini.
Psych.
Yeah. So like you do like a fuse, and then you have to do like a fuse animation, and then the soot trail, and then the sparks, and then you build the bomb, and then you do like the rigid body, and then you like blow up the little pieces, and then you have to do like the fireball simulation. And so the thing I was going to tell you before the podcast, but I wanted to save it for, so you basically have to like render each component out. So I had to render out I had to save the simulation to my disk. And then after you do that, when everything's done, you have to like re-input it together and like take all the stuff that you like saved in your disk and like put it together.
Like a PNG sequence?
Huh?
Is it like a PNG sequence?
No. Not even like even before you render it out. You have to like once you finish each component, you have to like save each component to your disk. And then when you finish the scene, you have to take all the saved files and then merge it together.
Interesting.
So you do it individually first, and then you put it all together, and then you render it out again, like together. So when I was I put everything in except for the explosion scene, like the VFX for that.
Yeah.
And then when I put it in, I don't know, I must have hit a button or something. But my program froze, and then like my Mac was telling me that I was using up too much memory on the system, and it tells you how much memory each program you're running. Yeah. So I have Spotify, and that's 100 megabytes, and I have like Brave, and that's 400 megabytes, and I see Houdini, and it's 41 gigabytes
of memory. You don't have that.
So I was like, what the fuck? So I had I like forced quit, and it took me a while. It took me like 10 minutes to like take Houdini off my Mac. Yeah. And then I ended up having to restart my MacBook afterwards. But now I'm rendering it out, and it's going good. So hopefully tomorrow I'll have it finished and I can show it to you. But that's what I've been working on. And I'm thinking what I might be doing is I might use like Houdini as a way to not model, because I feel like modeling is a lot easier with Blender for me, but I might use it as like a effects kind of thing. So I would build the special effects in Houdini and somehow import it into Blender, and I'm working on it. But if I can get Houdini down a little bit more, I am gonna do like a foundations like little video course thing, to get used to Houdini. Then I might do that, because I don't know. Like, it could go either way. I'm more used to Blender, so that's why I'm like leaning more into it. Yeah, yeah. But I feel like Houdini,
Houdini is definitely a VFX machine. So like, if you want to continue it, you may. I don't want to say you might need to get a better computer, because your computer it's not bad, and I know it costs money. You don't want to get another computer, but Houdini is a huge, heavy program. So
surprisingly, it's been handling it well though. Like when I would like do the previews, it wouldn't be too bad. And then once I actually save the simulation into my disk and then run it, it would be a lot better than running it real time. Yeah. It's still limited, which I know because it's a MacBook. But the fact that I can like actually do it is like okay with me. I don't mind like the little stuttering. Yeah. But it's so simple, dude. Like I thought it would be so complicated, but it's literally like so simple. If you wanted to do like a fireball VFX, you just literally drag and drop, and then it's there. And then you just play around with the settings a little bit, add some nodes. But if you just wanted like an actual just fireball, you just put it like drag and drop, and it's there, and it's pretty cool.
Nice, yeah. I mean, so do you think you want to get more into Houdini, maybe potentially into the VFX industry?
I think what I thought about doing was like doing more product commercials, and then incorporating Houdini effects into the product commercials. Like I did a Coke one a while back, and I thought like the final shot, like with the Coke spinning and landing on the ice cubes, like I could put like smoke effects like on the ground instead, like as a mist, but render that from Houdini and entering it in. Or like, I don't know, just do more simulations like that. Or I was also thinking like doing like fire simulations for like maybe a lighter commercial, or like making like a campfire scene and then having like the fire from Houdini, or just something like that, you know, like something simple. I think it would be cool. I've always wanted to get into like VFX and stuff like that. And I've searched like those kind of tutorials on Blender. So I definitely think once I do make the jump, I would start using Houdini as well more often for VFX in that case. But I think for me to learn like the fundamentals on both would be pretty beneficial.
That'd be pretty good. Yeah. Houdini, you know, not a lot of people know Houdini, or more people know Blender than Houdini. So it's like you would definitely have a leg up. And if you want to go into more of a motion graphics, more industry, more commercial field, then you'll have that benefit for sure. I don't know.
Yeah,
I think it's pretty cool.
We'll see how it goes. I was surprised that like Houdini was running at all when I was like rendering my shit from Blender. Like I literally had these two programs. One was rendering and one was just working on it. And my laptop, like at some points when working, my laptop would just go like turn into like an airplane. So an airplane.
Max, what year is your Mac?
It's the M1 MacBook Pro. So I think it's like the
M1.
2020.
M1 is pretty good. I think. I don't know. Like I know the most recent MacBook Pro is like ultra strong. Not the one you have like the most recent one. So I don't know.
Yeah,
Macs have capabilities for sure.
Yeah.
It's actually called M2.
Yeah, the M2 one.
I was like, I don't know if that was a joke or not. M2?
No,
okay.
M2. No, my Mac has the M1 processor.
Yeah.
And then the new MacBooks have the M2 processors. But I don't know. I've heard some like mixed reviews about the M2s because I heard that like to compensate for like the really big upgrade jump for the processors, they take away the quality of the RAM.
Damn.
So people are saying that they like just the performance is pretty much the same. So I was like, okay, I'm not gonna wait for M2s, so I'm just gonna do the M1s.
Bro, all you need to do is just download some more RAM.
Impossible. And
easy solution.
John, I felt bad because you're like, yo, let's do the podcast like a couple of days later. Like we'll do the podcast on Wednesday. I think we wanted to do it. I was like, bro, I gotta catch a flight on Wednesday.
Wait. We can bleep this one out, but where are you flying to?
Edinburgh. Well, you don't have to bleep it out. I'm flying to Edinburgh. That's in Scotland.
Oh, Scotland. Interesting. What you doing there? I know you sent me like a snap that you were going. You don't know. That's fucking I'm balling.
Bro, you want to see the itinerary I made?
Bro, that's some rich person shit. I don't know. I'm just gonna fly. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing there. I'm flying, bro.
I'm gonna take a screenshot of my itinerary and you're gonna laugh.
Yeah, and then send it to me. Send it to me on Snap. No.
I'm sending it on Discord.
I'm recording the screen though, so
that's okay. You can see it.
Yeah, but then what's gonna be on the video? Oh, we can do our 3D characters, our avatars on the video. Yeah. Insert 3D avatars now. All right, what am I looking at? Let's see. I'm looking at Edinburgh itinerary, day 1 through 6. Nothing. But mine's gonna be there for 6 days, and there's free things to do. Arthur's Seat, Royal Mile, Botanical Garden, museums. Well, it looks like you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Why? One, how much was the ticket? I know it's not gonna be a lot. I know it's gonna be like $10 or something. But then also like, why do you want to go for a whole week?
Well, when I was purchasing the ticket, like I'm going on Wednesday, and I was like, okay, maybe I can fly back on Saturday or Sunday. Saturday, Sunday is pretty expensive, like pretty pricey with tickets. So I was like, okay, what if I move it to Monday? And then it's like, okay, that's super cheap. And I was like, okay, maybe I'll do like less days. Let's do Wednesday, Friday. But I'm like, what am I going to do there for 2 days? Like, you know, so now I'm stuck there. I'm stuck there for 5 days. And I, every single day, like the last week, I've just been like, okay, I'm going to work on my itinerary. And I don't work on it. I'm like, okay, I'll work on my itinerary. And I don't work on it. And I was like, okay, I'll work on my itinerary. And I watched one video on like free things to do in Edinburgh, and that was it. And then I was like, okay, so I seriously have to sit down one of these days and work on my itinerary because I'm leaving soon. I have to start packing. I haven't packed anything.
Nomad, bro. Nomad it.
And honestly, I might, but I was also thinking about like saying fuck it. And if I do all the stuff there is to do in Edinburgh early, then I'll just like take a train ride somewhere else in Scotland and spend the day there, and then just train ride back.
That's the European privilege right there. They might have have to be like, let's make a joke about being British as one of the cons. But the pros for sure is you can just visit shit.
Yeah. When I was talking to Rudy about it, he was like, "Yeah, me and my sister walked like around Edinburgh for the entire day. For like it took him 1 day, and I was like, fuck." I was like, well, I'm there for like 5 days, 5 nights. So
yeah, is it like another one of those places in Scotland that's like really beautiful, like outside? I was gonna say just take a walk, just walk for like hours, bro.
just walk for 6 days. Just walk,
dude. This is the opportunity. You know, you see those memes that's like, It's like shows some dude in like a really like serene location walking around, and it's like my unemployed friends at Wednesday at 3 p.m.
That's me. That's me. Well, that is me. That is me basically. But I would I'll see what I'm gonna do. I still don't really know yet. I'm pretty open minded as to like what I saw. I saw a TikTok about Edinburgh, and it was like, this is what the tourists don't see, and it's like people, and like people. It's like 5 a.m. and people are like from the clubs. They're still like talking to people outside on the street, and a lot of and they're like making plans to do stuff, and I'm like, that seems pretty sick. And like I saw a lot of comments being like, yeah, and then there's people waking up at like 6 a.m. to go to work and bumping into these people that are just getting out of the clubs and stuff.
Bro,
it's like a whole different shit. But I was either Edinburgh or Amsterdam. And Edinburgh won because Amsterdam's expensive. And by expensive, I mean like not really. Like
how much?
It's like a little bit over like 100, which is still not expensive, but it is expensive in like these terms.
Yeah. Jeez. Save that money, man.
Yeah, my trip costs maybe like a little, like 100, maybe 100, like for the ticket, but that's including like cancellation fees, and it's also including travel insurance. I didn't have to buy that stuff. If I didn't buy that stuff, my trip would have been like 44.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I'll just buy it because
fuck it, we ball.
What if something happens?
Fuck it, I'm good. Yeah, if something happens, then your ticket is only like $100 and yeah.
No, I did the weird thing. I paid for 2 one-way tickets, so each one-way ticket was like 22.
Wow, nice.
Yeah, dude, expensive here. Like, yeah, like I was like looking at Amsterdam. I was like, 100. That's a little too much. But if I was a kid, if I was back, I'd be like,
100. That's light.
100. That's amazing. 100. That's how much it costs me to like drive from one park to like from my house.
Oh my god. Well, yeah. It's good that you're balling on a budget right now because that's the smart thing to do. I mean, I'm like buying too much shit. I actually had to stop myself from buying a new motherboard and CPU for my render machine. Did you see that snap I sent you of my second PC?
Yeah, I saw that. I got 2 PCs now.
Yeah, so for the viewers who don't know, I mean, I'm an animator by trade, and sometimes that requires you to render really heavy things for a long time. The heaviest thing I rendered was actually last Wednesday, and I was rendering for like 18 hours, like through the workday too. Like I went to bed at 12 a.m. I woke up at 8 a.m. and it was still rendering. And then by 5 p.m., like at the end of the workday, I was like still rendering, but like a different thing. I was like rendering the same project but different parts, and all together it was like 18 hours. And then I had a little work retreat, and then on Monday when we got back from work, I had to render for like another 2 hours. So 20 hours for this project for the final. It was 4K though, with lots of effects. So I said, man, fuck it. I have this other PC lying around. This is my older one. I'm gonna buy an Ethernet switch, another Ethernet cord, two Ethernet cords. Plug this thing up. It doesn't have a GPU, but it doesn't need a GPU. But the motherboard and CPU are so old that it actually doesn't help me render even though it's just another machine, it doesn't render like faster because by rendering through a second machine, it kind of like you kind of deduct like 10% already. Just because you have to render through one thing, and it's a long explanation, but basically I was like, I want to buy a new motherboard and CPU, and it would have been $450 because it was on sale, but I decided not to. Maybe next month. Huh?
Yeah, but I know you though. Like you're not a big spender. I don't remember you being a big spender.
No, I'm really not. Like the thing is, like I feel like I keep buying things, but the things I buy are like useful and like not like I'm not like buying clothes every month, or like I'm not taking trips every month. But I don't know. The only thing I spend like a lot of money on is food, and it's like Like eating out, I might spend like $250 to $300 a month. Also because, no, I'm not gonna say that. I was like, I'll say. Also because I have a girlfriend and I buy food for her. But I don't regret that. Tori, if you're watching, I love buying you food. All right. But it's also like that's like I spend like maybe $300 a month on just eating out, and then maybe like $150 on groceries. But like I don't know, I just feel like I'm always buying shit, even though the stuff I buy isn't useless. Like this motherboard, this motherboard and CPU would be really useful for work. So it's just like I don't know, but I stopped myself. I'm like, and I'm not going over a budget like because I live at home. For now, at least, you know, I'll move out eventually, but it's I don't know. I'm gonna try to budget, especially since I bought a ticket to see you. And then like our road trip together in December with Rudy is gonna be, it'll be some money. So I'm thinking ahead. I'm being smart.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm gonna at least wait till next month just to see if I still really feel like I need it. Right now, at least.
We should do a live episode once we get here. We'll do a live.
Oh yeah, live podcast episode. It'll be good with Rudy, special guest Rudy.
Special guest,
the homies.
Yeah,
that'd be fun.
Rudy's really adamant on getting tattoos, and I'm like, we'll see. We'll see how much that costs. We'll see.
You were saying that same thing about New York, and the New York tattoo was a pretty average cost, I guess.
Yeah, but we'll see. We'll see this time.
Okay, yeah.
Cause like, I don't know. If we spend like 100 or like 100, I'd be like, okay, let's do it with 100. But if we spend like 200,
yeah.
If we do like 200, I'm like, bro, that's a plane ticket somewhere. So somewhere out there. You know?
Let's
do that instead. I guess let's go there.
Your perspective really changes when you live somewhere that has a lot cheaper transportation. Like the world is more open, and then you're like, man, like things like I don't know, just it's like $200 in Canada would be like let's spend $200, but in Europe it's like I could go like 4 places with $200, so it's like
for real,
yeah,
for real, you could, which is insane. Like you'd be like, all right, I'm bored this weekend, got nothing to do Saturday, Sunday, let's go to France.
That sounds crazy, but it's true.
Let's have lunch in France.
Have lunch in France and then dinner in Italy.
You would probably do that, man. You'd probably do that for a good price.
Yeah, one day I'll definitely visit Europe, and when that day happens, then I'll reference this podcast again on that week's
Europe,
podcast. Yeah, but not like
Europe and stuff.
Yeah, but not like France and Italy. Europe. Yeah. We could go there if you wanted. Detour.
Fuck it.
Yo, did you? I know you saw it, but we didn't really talk about it. What do you think about the end of She-Hulk?
I don't know. I like it. It feels different. Like it's definitely really trying to be different, which I can appreciate. I can give it like points for creativity and like going out of the box and doing all that stuff. But it just still doesn't feel like coherent. Mm-hmm. Like it doesn't feel like scrapped together. I feel like the writers wrote something in a raffle box and then put it in a box, and instead of picking it out and like picking out which one liked which, like who had the most votes for what, they just took all the ideas in that box and made it into a TV show. Yeah,
and some people called the ending like really stupid, which I don't agree with. Do you think it was like a dumb way to do it, or did you like it but it wasn't good enough to make it good?
I think I liked it. I liked the last 2 episodes mainly because Daredevil.
Hell yeah.
But I think every other episode was like a snooze fest.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm just all like marveled out at this point. Like I feel like I see like another Marvel TV show. I'm just like, okay, whatever.
Put me out of my misery. Guess I have to watch this. Kill me. Yeah. Yo, did you see the trailer for one, Ant-Man Quantumania, and two, the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special?
I've not seen the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special one, but I have seen the Ant-Man and the Wasp one. And I don't know, like, it seems exciting still. Like, I'm still excited for Ant-Man and the Wasp, but I just feel like I'm just so desensitized to like Marvel movies where it's like, okay.
Yeah,
like Marvel will release like a new trailer or like a new like flashy announcement. I'm just like, okay. Like,
okay, yeah.
Whatever.
I see. as much as I hate to admit it, like I'm looking forward to Ant-Man. Like I want to watch it, but like I'm just not excited.
Yeah, I think that's a consensus for like a lot of people. I think a lot of people now at this point is just like whatever.
Yeah.
Like I'm excited to see where it's gonna go, but it doesn't matter to me if I watch it in theaters or not. If I forget about it.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know if it's a combination of Guardians of the Galaxy, which I'm talking about the Christmas special, the Guardians of the Galaxy, or Christmas the trailer didn't look that interesting, or Chris Pratt. I don't know, but I just wasn't that interested in the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special trailer. It didn't really interest me, to be honest. And you haven't seen it yet, so I'm not going to go that deep into it. But Kevin Bacon is confirmed part of the MCU universe. Fun fact.
I've heard about like the new Guardians of the Galaxy special, and I'm just like, okay, whatever. Whatever at this point, just I don't care. I don't care.
I am looking forward to Wakanda Forever just because the trailers make it look good. I know the trailers make every Marvel thing look good, but I don't know. Black Panther I feel like is a little different. It's got its own kind of like genre, or it's got its own subcult following. I don't know. It doesn't feel exactly the same to me. So it's gonna be something I'm looking a little more forward to. I'm looking
forward to it because Michael B. Jordan might be in it. People are like, there's speculation and stuff.
There's speculation. Like, I know you're looking forward to Creed 3.
Oh yeah.
Man's about to pop into the theater. You're coming to the theater and they're gonna be like, "Excuse me, what's in your bag?" And there's gonna be a box of tissues and a bottle of lube.
Oh yeah, I feel bad for the person who's gonna sit on that chair afterwards.
Oh my god, you need to control yourself.
Yeah, that's the only reason why I'm excited for Black Panther.
It looks good. It looks good. I don't know. I don't know. What can you say about Marvel, man?
I can say that they need to like. It's starting to get really old. And they really need to like take a break and maybe do like a 1-year hiatus. I'm sure nobody will care. You know.
What did you think about Werewolf by Night? Because a lot of people really liked it, but I think I have. You haven't seen it?
I still haven't seen it. That's the thing. That's the thing with like. Okay, that's the thing with like Marvel shows nowadays. It's just like it's either I watch it right when it comes out, or I just don't. And I am like interested. I've heard like a lot of stuff about it, but that's the thing. Like it comes out. It's like, if I miss it, it's okay. I miss it. I don't care. It's not enticing enough for me to be like, I have to watch it. It's like, okay, if I miss it, I miss it. I watch it whenever I watch it. So it's just in the back of my head.
I think a lot of people really liked it, but I think I have the lesser opinion, the more unpopular opinion that it was only all right. It was good. But it wasn't. I don't think it was as great as people said it was. Mostly just because I feel like the story just lacked a little bit, and it was only 40 minutes, so of course you couldn't make it. It wasn't that long, but I don't know. I feel like the unique style of it didn't really help the average story of it. So that's all I can say since you haven't seen it. But would I recommend you see it? I wouldn't be like, you gotta see it now. I would just say, yeah, watch it.
I just drop out of the call. I have to watch it right now, right this instant.
Sure.
The most recent thing I've been watching and that I've been really excited to watch are like horror movies in A24, that studio. I was about to watch Pearl today.
Pearl, the X prequel.
Yeah, but I'm gonna watch it. I think when I'm having dinner, I'll watch it. But I watched the other day. I watched Barbarian.
Yeah. Well, what is that about, and how good is it?
It is like I can't talk about it without like spoiling it.
Spoil it. I'm not gonna watch it, but I just had no idea what it was really about when I saw the trailer.
Basically, it's like a really interesting take on like a slasher film. That's what I've like heard people describe it as, and I can kind of see it that way. But it's about a house. At first, you don't realize it, but it's about the house, and it opens up with like Bill Skarsgård, which is like Pennywise.
Nice. Pennywise, yeah.
And this like he's in the house already, like in the Airbnb, and a girl shows up, and you're like in the eyes of the girl, right? So it opens up, and someone's already in that Airbnb, and it opens up, and like they try to like work things out because they both rented it out and stuff. And so at first you think the movie, you're like, okay, Bill Skarsgård's like creepy, something, he's gonna do something to this girl, and it kind of plays into it, but it never actually, nothing ever happens. And that he turns out to be like an alright guy and stuff, but he's still like really creepy. Like you can tell something's off. And then at night, like the girl, she's like sleeping in the bed because the guy gave her the bedroom. He just slept outside, and like there were like weird noises and stuff, and like Bill Skarsgård was having like nightmares, and like okay, like something's a little bit off. And then like that storyline kind of unfolds, and like she goes to a job interview, comes back, Bill Skarsgård is not there because he went out to do his own stuff, and he was like, oh, I'm gonna come back and we'll have dinner and stuff, that'll be nice. And so she goes down into the basement because she's like hearing noises and stuff, and she opens like the basement. The basement's like creepy, but there's nothing like scary about it. And then there's like a secret passageway that she finds, and she goes through it, and there's like a secret room with like a camera and like a bed and like a bucket. And then she's like freaking out, and Bill Skarsgård comes back, and she's like telling Bill about it, and Bill's like, I don't believe you, so she's gonna go check it down. And at first I'm like, okay, this is like the reveal where like Bill Skarsgård is like a rapist, and like he brings these girls home and stuff, and he's like trying to like not let her leave because he's like begging her, like, don't leave, I want to check it out myself. And she's like, fine, I won't leave. He checks it out, doesn't come back. And so he's like, okay, like she's gonna come down and stuff. She goes down, checks it out. He's not there, nowhere to be seen. And then there's another secret door, and under that is like a tunnel underground. And then she finds him there, and she's like, dude, it is like the acting is really, really good. Like this girl is like screaming, like for him, but he's like, you can faintly hear like him calling back. Eventually, they find each other in this like underground mine shafts, and when she finds him, he's like crawling to her, and I was like, oh my god, I was like, that was pretty freaky. But it turns out he was bit, and she was like, oh, we have to go, and he's like, oh, there's something down here. And she's like, yeah, let's get the fuck out of here. And he's like, no, not that way. We'll go the other way. And she's like, no, we'll go back the way I came. And they're arguing. And then this like gigantic, like woman with like saggy tits, and like she's like got like she's got like strands of hair and stuff, like grabs Bill Skarsgård's face and smashes it against like the rock walls. And then it cuts to black. And then you get like another storyline where it's like a guy in California who's like driving around, and he's like getting accusations that he got like sexually assaulted a female actress. So his show gets canceled, he gets canceled, he's in that whole process, and then he has to like sell his house in LA, but he's like, oh, I have properties in Minnesota. And he's like, okay, so he has to go to his properties in Minnesota and live there because he doesn't have money, because he has to like, he got the lawyers and stuff to battle this lawsuit. He goes into the house, and it's the same Airbnb house. Turns out this guy owns that Airbnb. And like all the stuff from like the previous girl is still there. Like, her car's still there, the luggage still there, everything. So he's like, yo, who the fuck's been living here? And in like a phone call, it's like been a couple weeks since like the last person signed in. So it's been a couple weeks since that first storyline happened. So he same thing happens. Like he ends up finding the basement stuff. He's like, but his reaction was really funny. He was like, oh shit, like at first he was scared, And I was like, okay, like that's pretty typical. And then it jump cuts to him like searching up on like Google, like, oh, do you have to can you add the square meter in like underground storage ways into the listings? And it's like, oh yeah, you could.
Funny.
Oh, sweet. So it's like a montage of him like measuring the square meter, and then he ends up finding the underground storage. He's like, oh, perfect, amazing. So he goes down.
Yeah.
And then he's just like casually just measuring everything. And he's like, and then he sees the girl, the big gigantic girl, and he's running, falls down into a pit while she's like trying to escape her. And she closes down the cage on that pit. And you end up finding the original girl from previously. And she's like telling him to like be quiet. And it turns out the tall, like lanky woman is just trying to like be their mama. So like she's like taking like a bottle of like milk and like feeding it to them. And so the dude refuses. Yeah, the dude refuses. So because he's weirded out, so she like grabs him and like pulls him away from the pit. And while this is happening, like the girl's trying to make an escape and stuff. So the girl leaves, and then there's like a third storyline about how like this like white guy, he's like a serial killer, and you get like weird vibes from him. And it's his house. Like he was the original owner of the house. And turns out what basically happened was he would like take girls into the house, like make them into like sex slaves and stuff. And then he has like babies with them. And then he does it with those babies, and then those babies do it with those, and then like he does it with those babies of those babies. And he's been doing it for like so long, and he has like, it ends up getting revealed he was still alive, actually. Like he was alive in the underground as well, and he had like tapes of like different girls. Like you have like 100 tapes on his wall, and like all different labels. And then it just turns out it was just like an abomination of like this like that like grew up in there. And she ends up, the original girl ends up escaping, but the fact that like all the storylines, like I had no idea like what was going on. I thought like as it was being revealed to me, it was so cool. I really enjoyed it, and I heard a lot of good stuff about it. Yeah,
that sounds really good. Wow,
it was
that
good.
Actually reminds me, this weekend I watched a thriller comedy movie starring Bill Skarsgård, called Villains. Have you seen it?
No, I haven't seen that one.
Pretty much him and his girlfriend are, I'll give you a quick synopsis. Him and his girlfriend are like criminals. They're like rob, gas stations. And their car breaks down after escaping from a robbery. And they wander into a house to try and get the keys to like a different car so they can like escape. Then they go to the basement and they find a little girl chained up in the basement. And then when they go back upstairs to try and free her, like the original homeowners come back, and the homeowners are another criminal couple, like a husband and wife. And it's kind of like interesting because it plays like parallels between like the older criminal couple and then the Bill Skarsgård and his girlfriend like criminal couple. And in the end, they finally free the little girl trapped in the basement. And then they try and escape, and then Bill gets shot and dies, but then the girlfriend kills the husband, and then she runs away with the little girl, and they start a family. But it was interesting because like it's like kind of similar. It's not that similar, but it's another Bill Skarsgård horror-ish movie, starring like a house and like a chained up girl in the basement. I don't know, interesting. Yeah. But it was also another good one, so I'd recommend that. Hey yo!
Guest appearance, Rudy.
Guess what we're doing right now?
You're having an intense chess match.
No, we're filming the pilot episode of our podcast.
Right now?
Yeah, you're on Steam, bro.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, we are about to. I was about to close it off because it's getting on to an hour. And don't tell anyone. So this
maybe
this
we
is
should close it off.
Yeah, this is a good place to close it off. Thanks for listening. A quick recap.
Rejoins.
Y'all better subscribe because this is gonna be some weekly shit, and it's not gonna make sense now. I'm telling you, it's a long burn, but after a year, you'll be like, damn, what's John and Jude talking about this week? So just, man, fuck it, subscribe. Bussy.
Any last words for us, Rudy?
Yo, the podcast is bussy.
Okay, perfect. You heard it here, folks. You heard it here.
Thank you. See ya.